Alright, so today I'm sitting on the corner of Winchester Avenue and West King Street in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Um, this country accent is not mine, it's a blend in. Right across from the 7-Eleven. Um, so I read something yesterday. Uh, it was about rape and sexual assault victims. There was a method in there that needs to be undone when interviewing victims. FETI or something like that. FETI maybe. It bases things off of a victim's traumatic experience related to their senses, which most people, when they're victimized, are not prepared to actually do that sort of work. Trauma-informed care is a thing that I spoke at the National Wellness Conference a few years ago about. That involves treating someone who has been victimized properly, not pushing them. A traumatic experience that does or does not result in post-traumatic stress disorder, which is varied and depends upon the person, the experience, the length of time. All sorts of factors go into whether a person develops PTSD from a traumatic experience. There's no set guidelines on who does or does not develop post-traumatic stress disorder, or to the degree that they do develop it. A person should be treated with respect, kindness, and an awareness of traumatized people. I personally, I can give a little account of when I was 15 years old and I was raped in St. Paul, Minnesota. Everything was handled probably absolutely the wrong way. When my sister outed to my parents that I had experienced a rape, my mother told me that I probably wanted it, and my father told me that he would never forgive me unless we went out and found the guy. This was hugely, excessively, traumatic for me on top of the trauma that I'd already experienced. I especially kind of expected my father to be more supportive and not so blaming. That put the blame on me, and it, made things a lot worse. I was, basically guilted or shamed into going and finding or locating this gentleman who did the rape. I had run away from a shelter, a youth shelter called Arlington House, which there were two houses, one with the guys, one with the girls, with a young girl, Yvonne. We took the bus, and she said she had a place to stay. It was the middle of winter. It was freezing cold. The 14 line in St. Paul. So we were basically just going to keep staying on the bus as long as we could. But we met someone on the bus, I believe. It's been a long time. Or we could have just gone to that location and things happened and I experienced a rape. So my father's comment and then, getting me into the minivan to go search out this person was really not the right method at all. to try to, get me to press charges or get this person to get in trouble for what they did. So we went searching around St. Paul, came upon him, and then my father got out of the vehicle and approached him. He actually spoke to him, and then I don't know what he said to him because I was still in the vehicle. Got back into the vehicle. This person got on the bus, and we followed the bus, and my dad contacted the local police. He was only arrested because he had multiple IDs on him. So at that time, we went to the department, and I was then interrogated by two men with a tape recorder in front of me. My father wanted to be present, and I absolutely would not do that. Could you imagine you're 15 years old and trying to talk about a rape in front of your father? That is, not happening. I was treated like a criminal. I was treated horribly, and I do mean interrogated. What clothing was I wearing? Did I do drugs, alcohol? Did I ask for it, basically? This was 1994. There were no female officers involved in this. I was not offered a rape or victims advocate. I was not. It was absolutely horrible. I'm sure they still have the tape because they didn't press charges. It is, I was a youth. I was scared. It was the first recounting of the story. I had lightly brushed on it at Safe Zone with a African American woman who helped run the place at the time. It was not usually open at that time in the morning, but because of what happened, I was so grateful that she let me in and she let me shower and change clothing, which is often a rape victim's first notion, is to get clean, change clothing, and try to distance yourself from the experience. So then I was in St. Joseph's Psych Ward again, where they forced me to do an exam. Whether it was for my health or not, I didn't want to do it, and they forced me to. It was one of the most painful experiences of my life because I was internally bruised from the rape. That is when my hymen was broken. I'm all like, I was bleeding from the rape. It was, a big, huge metal speculum jammed inside of myself to take swabs and other things. Yet, it was not like a rape kit that I knew of. I was not told it was being collected for evidence. Forcing a young person or an older person to do an exam is wrong and traumatizing. If they don't want to do it, then they shouldn't have to. It should be explained that if they don't, then certain evidence will be lost. And unless there's a witness or whatever it is legally, charges may not be able to be sought. People might not get in trouble, but people on the whole don't get in trouble for rape anyways, so who cares? It was a horrible experience through and through. from beginning to end, and I got a virulent strain of gonorrhea from the rape. Was not given the correct medicine. I'm all like, it was something that took more time than it should have. So, again, I was being punished. I'm all like, it's just like, I just don't even know. I'm all like, so, I don't know. I just, you need to be firm but delicate with people. Don't make it, more traumatizing than it already was. And yes, like, liars abound, especially with things like rape just to stain people, or child pornography, child molestation, things like that. There are people who seek to give people a bad reputation, or blackmail people, or other things with lies, which puts real victims in jeopardy of not being believed in the first place, which also puts them in jeopardy of being treated the way I was treated. It's unbelievable what people do to real victims. And for those of you who are liars and purport to be victims, I would tell you, fuck you. I'm all like, because you are putting every single real victim through shit that they don't need to go through. You need to recant. You need to tell people that you lied. I'm all like, and you need to let people go who you're trying to hold with misinformation and baseless accusations. I'm all like, compiled with evidence that has been manufactured,